back up. Get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm really need down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you're trying to go be better.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the...
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions.
Here we go.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
2nd and 9 now. He's going to air one out. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for the Giants. 55 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Operating from the gun, Daniels toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Breida. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back to throw. Daniels, back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. Do you think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they've moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Many would call that a gutsy decision here early on to go for it 4th and goal. There was no hesitation. The field.
It was a message. And the message was, I trust you on offense. Go out and make this happen. Go ahead and pick it up. You know what else he said? I trust my defense as well. If they don't get it, I know you're going to hold them. So it's a message to your entire team that you believe in them.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 7th overall pick in 2018 from Wyoming. It's Josh Allen.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. He's going to launch this thing. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Throwing on first down, Daniels. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for a giant first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out.
And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Matt Breida, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
And Detroit getting set to go now. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Allen. Man open, Rice. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 2nd down now, it's Owens. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Dexter Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. And he'll give it here to his running back. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
60 or. You got nothing to do.
On 1st down, Daniels. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Daniels. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Daniels. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Hey, Sam off.
On first down, here's Breida. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. And they're going to speed things up here. Looking to throw. Daniels. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Allen to throw it. This is the tight end fan. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And got his man complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
On 3rd down, Owens. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded at the 20. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Meanwhile, taking KC, it's the Chiefs out to an early lead over the Broncos. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Campbell making the catch. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Giants. Paris Campbell with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Bill O'Brien with a call here. We'll go for 2.
Here we go.
They'll try and throw for it. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On 3rd down, It's Owens, and he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coach. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. They're in the second quarter at Heinz Field, and really pouring it on now with the Cowboys. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. On first down, Allen. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They run again with Breida. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Back to throw. Daniels got an open man. That's Campbell. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Looking to throw. Daniels. His throw caught right around the 6. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 25 yards that time.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4. Back to throw. Dan got it. Touchdown, Giants. Paris Campbell with his 2nd touchdown. 8 on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And he works free. And now look at him go. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Lions were able to draw a bit closer. And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here.
That was a special return.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, we try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Let's go. Check. Hard. Let's go.
Now it's Breida. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36.
On the ready.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10.
Hey, check 24. Check 24. Switch. Check 13. Check 13. Ready.
Running out of the gun here, Breida, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Daniels. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. First down, and they're going to throw without him. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on first down is Allen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He's got his tight end Fant, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Allen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Barrett. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Allen now on first down.
Well, that's what you look for.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 11. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 57 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Looking to throw. Daniels. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Daniels. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Got it.
Looking to throw. Daniels. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. Paris Campbell there to make the grab. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Fighting him off. And he'll get this back to just the 20 with a penalty marker down. Let's see what this is about.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Allen's throw is complete. 20! And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and they get a little bit closer. As the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
You see me? You see me?
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Allen, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Allen from the gun, he'll throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 20, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. This is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'll be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't it?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one isn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. So for the Giants, the final 2.